Hey, good morning, everybody. 10 Tampa Bay meteorologist Grant Gilmore here with you. I see a couple of you already commenting here about the view. This is from Clearwater Beach right now as we head toward lunchtime. A lot of people out there on the beach. I saw somebody said that it looks like a retro postcard. It does look like a postcard, doesn't it? It's a pretty view. They've got all the little umbrellas, the cabanas, I guess you call them, up there on the beach this morning. I mean, people were getting out to the beach really, really early this morning, actually during bright side. One of our photographers was there at the beach, and people were rolling up with their wagons filling the parking lot even before sunrise this morning. So people taking advantage of the nice holiday weather today. And I mean, look how calm that Gulf is right now. Man, it's calm. Very, very little waves. I mean, tiny little waves. So people out there just soaking up that sun, enjoying the calm weather while it lasts. I mean, gosh, we got to be grateful for the fact that it is so calm. This time of year, peak of hurricane season is on Saturday. And I mean, while we are tracking a couple of systems, which we'll get to in just a second, at least for the Gulf of Mexico, all is quiet, and man, it has been a relatively quiet season, all things considered. It really wasn't until last week that we hadn't seen much. I mean, we went 60 days without a named storm in the Atlantic Basin anywhere. And here we are sitting on the cusp of the peak of hurricane season. There are two named systems out there. Both of those aren't going to be threatening us here in the United States. And it really doesn't look like there's much behind it either. But let's get to this latest update here. There are the three systems that we're keeping an eye on. We have Hurricane Danielle. That one formed first, and then Tropical Storm Earl formed over the weekend. And then we have a third area that we're keeping an eye on out there in the far eastern Atlantic. Just came off the coast of Africa a couple of days ago. I see, let's see, who is that? Jenny Lorraine asking if Florida has to worry about the storms. And the short answer is no. We're always watching something out there this time of year, or at least we typically are. In terms of the development of that third system, a 40% chance that we see it develop into a tropical depression or tropical storm over the next 5 days. It'll continue to track to the west from there. You see anywhere shaded in that orange yellow or orange color is where we could see some development, but it doesn't look like beyond there that it even has a good chance of developing. So likelihood of seeing an additional system beyond Earl looks relatively low at this point. Let me show you Hurricane Danielle now spinning over the northern Atlantic. It looks like it's beginning to weaken now. The 11 o'clock advisory that came down just a little bit ago from the Hurricane Center weakened those winds from 90 miles per hour down to an 85 mile per hour hurricane right now. Winds for a hurricane are at 74 miles per hour or stronger, so it'll likely remain a hurricane at least for the next 24 hours or so as it continues to weaken, but it'll start to move over some cooler water in the North Atlantic, and then some wind shear will start to tear it apart as well. So this system will likely continue to weaken here as it tracks off to the north-northeast at around 8 miles per hour. Pressure's up a little bit too, right around 976 millibars. Here's the 11 o'clock forecast cone for Danielle. It sort of tracks generally to the northeast. For a time it looked like it was going to go towards Europe, but with each model run and each successive forecast cone from the Hurricane Center, it takes it more and more to the west or more to the north, I guess. And looks to be clearing most of the British Isles there, and weakening as it does so too. Still a 50 mile per hour, but extratropical low pressure system by this weekend. So no concerns with Danielle. Here's Earl, a little closer to home. There has been some breezy, gusty conditions across the northeastern Caribbean from Puerto Rico over to the U.S. and British Virgin Islands there. They've seen some surf as well, but this system continuing to pull away from the northeastern part of the Caribbean. So it's moving fairly slowly at this point to the north-northwest at 5 miles per hour. It's increasing in strength a little bit. A hurricane hunter was inside the storm earlier this morning and found that it had strengthened. So that's where we get that 65 mile per hour wind. Whereas before that, they were just estimating wind speeds were around 50 miles per hour. So it should begin to strengthen a little bit more as we head through the next couple of days. By tomorrow morning, it'll be close to a hurricane with a 75 or 70 mile per hour wind, potentially becoming a hurricane sometime tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. And then it looks like it strengthens from there as it continues to track to the north and then turn to the northeast, potentially becoming a Category 3 hurricane by this weekend. So it could be our first major hurricane of the season. So you have Danielle, the first hurricane, and then you have Earl, potentially the first major hurricane of the season. It'll come close to Bermuda there. I want to zoom in just to show you. Bermuda's there off to the west. You see St. George popping up there. So Bermuda technically still in the cone of Earl, but it looks like at least the direct impact or the strongest winds at least more likely look to steer to the east of Bermuda right now. They'll still see some surf and some fringe impacts from Earl, but at least the direct impact with the strongest winds look more likely to steer off toward the east. So, I mean, and then obviously for us here in the United States, much less Florida, not a concern at all. The system steering well east of Florida. In fact, if we just throw on the measurement tool there, the center of the storm looking to track probably around 1,000 miles to our east. So no concerns there. We can kind of rest easy as we head toward the peak of hurricane season. Like I mentioned, here we are sitting on September 5th today, and the peak of hurricane season on September 10th. So we're 5 days away from the peak, and we can still see some activity beyond the peak, obviously, but the likelihood of seeing a lot of activity begins to gradually decrease all the way through the rest of hurricane season, which wraps up December 1st. That's the last, or actually that's hurricane season wraps up in November. So we go through the month of November and then we hit December. We are done with the hurricane season. So good news there. I mean, really, the entire western Atlantic Ocean is fair game for seeing development. We typically see these African waves come off the coasts of Africa, or these tropical waves, and we see those have the best likelihood of really strengthening into these strong major hurricanes this time of the year. So September is the peak of hurricane season. The Gulf, the Caribbean, all pretty much fair game for likely development. And then we typically see them start to curve up towards the north, anywhere between the Bahamas to Bermuda and all up along the southeast coast. We could see some tropical development. So this is the time of year where we expect to see exactly what we're seeing right now, which is quite a bit of activity out there in the Atlantic. So again, just two systems out there right now, none of them impacting or at least threatening to impact the United States. There's that third area to watch, but like I said, not really concerned about the potential impacts on that. Let's see if we can get that back up there for you guys. Overall, I mean, no real big signs of concern out there across the Atlantic. Granted, yes, two named systems, but not really looking at any impacts there. I mean, this is what it looks like across the entire area, across Tampa Bay. Look at these cameras. It is just beautiful out there. Once it loads, there we go. I mean, mostly sunny skies. We're starting to see some more cumulus clouds develop, and eventually we'll see some showers or storms this afternoon. But for the first half of your Labor Day, I mean, no complaints. It's warm, it's sunny, there's a nice breeze. We'll see high temperatures this afternoon up around 94 degrees, looking like a 50% chance for some scattered showers and storms. So it turns out to be a really nice day across the Bay Area, aside from just a few of those afternoon showers and storms. The second half of the week, I can't say the same. It looks like we start to get some more rain out there, especially through the afternoon hours for Thursday, Friday, and this weekend. But overall, I mean, for a holiday, for Labor Day in September, absolutely perfect. You can't ask for more this time of year here in Tampa Bay. So, guys, that's it for me right now. Just a quick update for you. I'm going to be joining the crew there for 10 Tampa Bay midday, so I'll see you guys on TV at noon right on 10 Tampa Bay. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow morning on Brightside starting at 4:30 in the morning. So, guys, have a great rest of your Labor Day, Have fun, stay safe, and we will catch you next time. Take care.